Hi, welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Mary Sabat, and I'm the owner of BodyDesigns. I'm here today with two of my good friends and business colleagues, and this is Megan Hill from A Stronger Workplace. And Megan is a former U.S. team athlete, and now she competes in bodybuilding. So she's gonna help demonstrate today how to do a nice yoga stretch after your workout. She's going to show you how somebody that's really fit and strong can actually be very flexible too. So thanks for coming today. And this is Teresa Owens. Teresa is the owner of Inner Smile Yoga, and she is an amazing mentor and yoga teacher. And she was able to help me take a routine that I love to do that's a little more difficult and take it down to a level that everyone can do, a level that's safe for all my clients, a great little stretch after your workout, or even something you can do on your days off. And I encourage all of you, if you really enjoy this and you get to like yoga, it's so good for your body, and I encourage you to take it a step further and maybe call Teresa, look Teresa up, do some classes with her. She's amazing. If you have any kind of injury, you need to rehab, or just to stay healthy and prevent having to rehab something, Teresa's your person. So I'm going to turn it over to Teresa. Let's get started.
Hi everybody, welcome again to Yoga Stretch, and my name again is Teresa. And if you are ready, just grab a yoga mat, take off your shoes, wear some loose-fitting clothing, and join us. And we're going to start just standing. So coming onto your mat, we're going to stand in what's called mountain pose, and your feet are hip width apart, your hands are by your side. Just relax into your feet, and let's take about 3 deep breaths, just coming into your breathing. Good, let's take one more. Good, and then we're going to start with our arms just to get that breath a little deeper, so turning your palms open. We're going to inhale and simply raise the arms up and overhead, big breath in. And as you exhale, sweep the arms wide and down. And again, inhale, reach the arms wide and up. And exhale, reach the arms wide and down. Last one like that. Inhale, reach the arms wide and up. And exhale, reach the arms wide and down. Good, and we're going to take that into a side stretch. Inhale, raise the arms. Go ahead and hook your thumbs here. As best you can, extending the arms, take a nice deep inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to side bend to the right. So be careful not to go too far, staying rooted in that left heel, lengthening through the left side body, just nice deep breath. Good, and then we're going to inhale back up to center, exhale rooting through your right heel, and then with another inhale lifting up and exhale side bending to the left. Breathing into that right side waist, opening up that rib. Good, and then inhale back up and exhale release your arms. Good, and we're going to add on. Inhale, raise the arms wide and up. This time as you exhale, just bend the knees and bring the hands in prayer to your heart. As you inhale, you're going to shift the weight back in the heels, and as you exhale, softly fold forward. Be very mindful that you're not locking your knees or your lower back, so soften the knees as much as you need to feel comfortable here. And then we're going to work gently into the hamstring. So inhale, bend the knees a little bit more. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly extend the legs a little bit. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice deep inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, extend the legs. Good, and 1 more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Good, and then just shake that head out, yes. And a couple of deep breaths, yes and no with the head. And then when you're ready, bend your knees a little bit. Let's bring our hands onto our thighs, rooting your tailbone down to the heels, and inhale, rise up, slow and carefully. Exhale here. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, raise the arms. Nice big stretch up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to the heart. Inhale, shift the weight back into the heels. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, bend the knees a little bit. Exhale, extending the legs, feeling the stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. And one more. Inhale, bend. And exhale, extend. Stay in the extension as best you can. Shake the head again, yes and no, letting go of that neck. Let's take one more big breath here. Good, and then bend the knees. Bring the hands on your thighs, pressing into your heels. Inhale, slowly come on up, and exhale, release your hands. Good, take a deep breath here. Just feel what you're doing. Exhale all the breath. Good, we're going to add on. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to the heart. Inhale, shift the weight back in the heels. This time just simply fold in, best of your ability now. Again, be careful not to lock the knees. And let's take one more big breath here. Good, and then lift the chest and gently walk your hands forward. We're going to come down to hands and knees. So you want to bring the knees underneath the hips. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers open nice and wide. And let's take a nice deep inhale here with a flat back. As we exhale, we're going to come into a rounded spine, a cat pose, tucking the tailbone under, dropping the chin to the chest. As you inhale, tilt the tailbone the other way, soften the heart, and lengthen the back of the neck. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, rounding up. Inhale, moving forward, slow and easy now, articulating the spine as best you can. And 2 more. Exhale, rounding up. And inhale, moving forward. 1 more. Good, and then we're going to come back up and we're going to take a child's pose here. So you're going to walk the knees a little bit apart if you can. Bring your big toes to touch. And then if your shoulders are okay, you're going to walk your hands forward and bring your hips back towards your heels. Let the head come down in between the shoulders. Now if you're a little tighter here and you can't get all the way back, you can just stack your hands underneath your head here and just rest for about 4 or 5 breaths. Breathing into your lower back. Letting the weight of your body soften with the breath. Good, let's take one more big breath here. Beautiful, good. And then let's slowly meet back at hands and knees. So take your time, coming back up, hands underneath the shoulders. Walk the knees back in, hip width apart. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes under. So we're going to move into a position called downward dog or half dog. And I'm going to show the half dog first. If you're a little tighter in the hamstrings or hips, stay on your knees. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. And then lift the hips and let the head fall in between the shoulders. So you're stretching from your fingertips to your tailbone. This is a nice way to modify the stretch, especially in the beginning, as you first start to find the strength and length in your upper back. Let's take one more big breath here. And then you can choose to stay here. Or if you're feeling a little bit more energetic here, you can walk the hands back. You're going to keep the toes tucked under, stretch your hips back on the inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lift the hips and extend back through the heels. Now again, if you're tighter in the hamstrings here, you want to bend the knees so you get that kind of ski slope of a back going on here. Let's take about 3 or 4 breaths there if you can. Feel free to come back down and take it back into that half dog if that feels a little too strong for you. Good. I'm going to come over here and just help Mary out a little bit. Mary, go ahead and bend your knees. Good. And then let me pull her back. So you can see how she gets a little more stretch there. Do it again. Bend the knees on the inhale. Exhale, extend. Good, and then go ahead, Megan and Mary, just come on down to your knees and take a deep breath here. Everybody doing okay? Okay. All right, so from here, we're going to kind of go in and out of that. Again, you can stay in half dog if you wish. Otherwise, let's tuck the toes under and kind of go in and out a couple of times. So just check in with your shoulders and wrists. Make sure you're not overburdening them. So on an inhale, we're going to go back with the hips. As we exhale, we're going to lift the hips into that downward dog. As we inhale, lift up high onto the balls of the feet, and exhale, lower back onto the knees. So we're just going to move through that a couple of times. Inhale, move back. Feel the extension. Exhale, lift back up, stretch the heels. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the knees. Beautiful. Do one or two more, you guys. Go ahead and go back on the inhale. Lift up on the exhale. Pike the heels on the inhale and exhale down on the knees. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, go back on the hips. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, pike the heels up, get the stretch. And exhale, lower down onto the knees. Beautiful. Take a breath. All right, from here we're going to untuck the toes and we're going to come down onto our belly. So go ahead and come on down onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and let your forehead rest on the mat. Take a couple breaths here, just arriving on your belly. Nice deep breath, just arriving on your belly. One more. Good, and then we're going to work the legs here. It's really important to get long, strong legs here. Less important to press up really high in the upper back. So you're going to stretch your legs nice and long. Press down through the tops of all 10 toes as best you can into the mat. And then you're going to tuck your tailbone into that space and lift your low belly in. Now without any weight in the hands, you're going to inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, keep the back of the neck long, in line with the spine, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, no weight in the hands, beautiful. Long, strong legs, exhale, lower. Good, two more. Inhale, lift and lengthen, 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 exhale, lower. Good, and last one. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Good, and once you're down now, take 2 deep breaths, inflating your lower back with breath. Feel how the breath actually stretches out and releases the back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good, and then when you're ready, just gently press back up to hands and knees. Exhale, tuck the toes under. And again, you can go back into that half dog or come up into downward dog from here. And just take about 3 deep breaths here. Either one is fine. So you can stay down on your knees here if that's easier for you or a little bit more comfortable. Good. Nice extension, ladies. Good. One more breath. Good. And then reaching back into your heels, you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet, finding that gentle forward bend once again. Good. And again, soften the knees as much as you need to feel the hinge at that upper thigh. Take one more breath. Good. And then hands on your thighs again. Root the tailbone down to the heels and inhale, rise on up. Exhale, release your hands. Good, and then bring your palms together in prayer right in front of your heart. Let's take 2 deep breaths here, just coming back to standing. You can bring your gaze to the tip of your nose if you wish, or close your eyes. So now we're going to take our legs wide. So you're going to walk your feet about leg width apart, and you're going to start with your feet turned forward. Okay? And then you're going to bring your hands on your hips to begin with. All right, so from here, we're going to turn the left heel back just a little bit, and then we're going to turn the right foot forward. We're going to be going into a warrior 2. This is a hip stretch. You're going to inhale and extend your arms wide, so you're stretching to opposite ends of the room. And as you exhale, you're going to bend the front knee just over the ankle. So be careful not to go too far so you're sinking into the knee joint here. And then we're going to inhale and extend the arms and extend the legs. So you're stretching the arms up with your breath. And then as you exhale, you come back in. So you're really working your legs and the extension of the back hip. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Good. And let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Stay in the bend. Feel the stretch across your chest. Reach for those opposite sides of the room. And then if you're okay here, release the back arm down to your thigh. Turn the front palm open. And inhale, raise the arm to the sky. So this can be modified with a bent elbow here if you need it. But you're lifting up from the pelvis. And then those of you who are okay in the lower back, you can start to take it into a little bit of a side bend. Bent elbow is fine. That gets you a little more open here. Good. I'm going to come out for a minute. You're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Good. One more big breath. Good. And then inhale, extend the front arm, extend the front leg, straightening the leg. And as you exhale, release the arm. Take a breath and turn the front foot forward. Good. And we'll take it to the other side. So again, hands on your hips. You're going to turn the right foot back just a little bit. Left foot forward. Good. Take a breath. So you always want to feel your legs before you begin. And then inhale, extend the arms. And as you exhale, you're going to push into the back leg and bend the front knee just over the ankle. Beautiful, you guys. And then inhale, raise the arms as you extend the front leg. And exhale, bend back in, open the arms wide. Good, let's do 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bending in. Beautiful, you guys. And 1 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bending in. Good. Now stretch the arms wide. Feel the expansion across your chest, nice and big, opening through the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to release the back arm to your thigh. Turn the front palm up and then inhale, raise the arm to the sky. Feel the extension from the pelvis up to the fingertips. And you can stay here or slightly bend the elbow and begin to side bend to your right over that leg. Don't come out of the bend. Good. Opening up that whole left side body. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Can you bend the knee a little bit more and then lift up? Yeah. Last deep breath here. You okay there, Mary? Good. And then inhale, slowly come back up. Raise the arm, straighten the leg. Exhale, release your arms. Beautiful, you guys. Turn the left foot forward and take a deep breath. Good. We're going to take a little forward bend, a stretch for the shoulders. So inhale, extend the arms out wide and to the side. As you exhale, you're going to turn the thumbs down and clasp the hands, wrists, or forearms back behind you. Good. And then roll the shoulders open, little bend in the elbow. And as you exhale, you're going to fold forward, hinging from the hips. Good. Release the head and neck. You can bend the knees here if you need to. You want to make sure you're not jamming your lower back. Nice, Mary. Good. Keep the weight even in the feet. Good. Enjoying the stretch to the upper back and shoulders. So beautiful, you guys. 1 more breath. Good. And then bring your hands back to your hips. Root your tailbone down to the heels. And inhale, come on up. Exhale, release your arms. Good. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to do, this next thing we're going to do is working with the waist and with the side twist a little bit. So you want to turn your feet out just a little bit, not too far, just a little bit. And this is called star pose. So you're going to open up the arms again to the side. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to turn from the waist and reach the right arm down for the left foot. Doesn't have to go all the way. And then inhale, bring it all back up. Exhale, turning from the waist, left arm to right foot. Inhale up. So you're going to keep that going. Exhale, down on the right. Inhale up. Beautiful. Exhale, down on the left. Good. And again, inhale up, twisting from the waist. Exhale down on the right. Good. And inhale up. Exhale down on the right. Left, sorry. Good. Let's do 2 more. Down on the right. Inhale, reach it back up, turn. Exhale down on the left. And 1 more each side, breathing as you move, stretching around the waist. Last one to the left. And then inhale back up. Good. Exhale, release your hands. Good. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in a couple of times and then jump the feet together. Bring your hands in prayer at your heart and just take a couple of breaths here, feeling what that did. Good. And then release your hands, and we'll move on to the next segment. So now we're ready to go back down onto your mat. So you're going to come to hands and knees and make your way into child's pose. So we're going to stay here for about 4 or 5 breaths, just kind of leveling the sacrum and working your breath into your back. One option you can do here is I'm going to have Megan bring her arms back with her palms facing up so you can release the shoulders forward. This is kind of a nice stretch if you feel any tension in the upper back and neck. So we're going to be here for about 2 more nice big breaths. So you want to stay here for about 5 breaths total if you can. Good breathing, breathing into your back, feeling the back extend with the breath. Good. And then from here, we're going to come up to hands and knees again. Now I've brought these blocks out for those of you that are tighter in the hips. We're going to be working with the hips a little bit. These blocks or some kind of support under your hands is really nice if you have tight hips. It gives you a chance to really work into those tight spots. So I'm going to show you that variation as we move into it. So from hands and knees, those of you with the blocks are just going to bring your hands onto the blocks, and we're going to step the right foot forward between the hands or the blocks. So you're basically, your feet, hips, and knees are square, and you're going to turn the right foot just slightly out a little bit. So we're going to be working here in the outer hamstring. What you want to feel here is that you're hugging the right hip back, left hip forward, so that there's a sense that you're balancing from your low core. All right, so on an inhale, you're going to extend that leg about 3/4 of the way back and pull your right hip under you a little bit. That should get your outer hamstring, right, girls? Mm-hmm. And then as you inhale, you're going to move forward. So we're kind of moving in and out to begin with, just to warm up that action. Exhale, move back. Inhale forward. And exhale back, pulling that buttock underneath you. Let's do 1 more here. Inhale forward and exhale back. And when you go back now, if you've got the flexibility, you can release the head, release the torso. It helps deepen the stretch a little bit. And let's take 3 deep breaths here, just opening up that outer hamstring, outer hip. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Good. And then very gently now we're going to bend back into that right knee, back into the lunge. So from here, some of you will have a hard time coming up into balance. If that's you, just stay here and try to sink the hips for the stretch. If you feel fairly balanced here, you're going to bring your hands to the top of the knee. And then pull in through your low belly to lift your chest. Good. And then if you're stable, you can raise the arms up to the sky, turn your palms in and soften the shoulder blades down away from the ears, lifting those collarbones. Breathe into the stretch. Long line of energy from that back hip flexor up to the fingertips. Good. 1 more inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring the hands back down to the floor. Good. Now shift the hips back just a little bit. We're going to do 2 more things for your hips. Again, if you have the blocks, you're walking your hands with the blocks inside the right foot. Otherwise, hands inside the right foot. Walk your right toes out to the right about 3 to 6 inches and turn them out. This is a great mobilizer for the hip. So keeping the foot down, you're going to circle the knee. We're going to go 4 or 5 times one direction to open up that outer hip. And then let's go the other way. Good, and then bring it back to center. And from here, you can take a little bit deeper stretch if you like. What's important here is that you don't displace your hips. You keep that sense that they're working towards one another. And again, if your hands are on the blocks, it just helps you get a little deeper in. So you're going to sink your hips straight down as best you can. Those of you that are in a little deeper, you can turn the blocks down and bring your forearms down onto the blocks or onto the floor for a deeper hip flexor stretch in the back. Now be mindful here that you're not straining. And let's take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Again, you can stay up high here if this feels better in your body. And just work the stretch in the back thigh. Beautiful, you guys. One more breath. Good. And then pressing into the back shin, just slowly lift yourself back up, walk your hands back, shift your hips back, and go ahead and swing that right knee back to join the left, and just shake your hips from side to side, feeling the difference. Holy mackerel, right? Sorry. All right, so from here we're going to take it to the other side. So again, if you're using blocks, your hands are on the blocks. We're going to step the left foot forward between the hands. Good. And starting here now, we're going to move into that outer hamstring stretch. So you're going to turn the toes slightly out. Good. And you're hugging the back hip forward, front hip back. We're going to inhale and extend that leg about 3/4 of the way back, pulling the left hip underneath you, feeling the wrap of the buttock under you. And as you exhale, you're going to move forward. So we're going to do this back and forth now. Inhale, moving back. And exhale, moving forward. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale back, pulling that left buttock under you. Exhale, moving forward. And 1 more. Inhale, pull it back and in. And exhale, forward. This time we're going to go back and stay for about 3 or 4 deep breaths. Pull it in and under you. Again, if you've got the room to release the torso over this stretch, go ahead and try it. Opening up that left buttock, outer hamstring. Nice deep breath. One more breath. Good, and then inhale, slowly come back forward. Good, we're going to take it into the lunge now, hugging the thighs together. You're going to sink the hips a little bit. Again, you can choose to stay here. This may feel like enough for you. If you feel like you have your balance, you're going to bring the hands to the top of the thigh, and pulling in through the low belly, lift your chest. You can either stay here or inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Extending the arms up, hugging the shoulders down. Find a couple of nice deep breaths here. Again, lifting the collarbones from the stretch in the lower hip. Good. And then inhale, release your arms down. Exhale here. We're going to take the hands inside that left foot. Walk the left foot out to the left, about 3 to 6 inches to the left, turning the toes out. So I'm going to start with those hip circles here. So keeping the foot down as best you can. This helps protect the knees. So you feel the stretch more moving through the hip and the attachment of the thigh bone in the hip. So we're going to go 4 or 5 times. Go back more, Megan. There you go. Get more in there. Yeah. Good. I know. And then go the other way. Good, and then come back to center, and this is where we're going to sink forward and down. Again, be careful not to displace the hips too much. You want to keep the sense that you're working them together as you sink the hips forward and down. Again, you can come down onto your forearms as Megan is doing if you have the room, or you can stay high and lift up through the low belly. You can also bend your elbows a little bit here, working the stretch in whatever way feels good. Exactly. Good, Mary. Good. And then we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Still pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Feel that extension. Nice, easy breath. Beautiful, beautiful. 1 more breath. Good. And then carefully now come back up with your hands. Come back with the hips. Stretch the left hip back. Walk the hands in. And then bring the left knee back to join the right. Go ahead and shake your hips from side to side. Very nice, you guys. Last thing here we're going to do is either another half dog, child's pose, or downward dog. Your choice. So you can come into downward dog. Mary's going to come into downward dog. You're going to come into half dog. Walk the hands further forward, and I'll come into child's pose. You can see any choice here works well for leveling out the hips, bringing the one-sidedness of what we were just doing into a neutral position. You're going to take about 4 to 5 breaths here, just letting everything settle. Working your breathing. 1 more breath. Good, and then we're going to meet at hands and knees and prepare for our final pose. So now we're going to come down onto your back and just extend your legs, relax your arms by your side, and just take about 2 or 3 breaths arriving on your back. Nice, easy breaths, just letting the bones settle in this different position. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to open your arms out into a T, palms facing up, and relax the shoulder blades down the back. So you're not adding any tension in your neck. You're going to bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. And then you're going to walk your feet wide apart on the mat. So the feet are towards the outer edges of the mat, knees wide. Good. Now take a deep inhale and exhale here. And then you're going to walk your right foot off the mat about 3 to 6 inches to the right. Take an inhale and flex the foot so you're on the heel. And as you exhale, you're going to drop the right knee in and down towards the midline, pulling the belly in away from the stretch. So you start to feel it in the hip, in the hip flexor. And then if you're safe here, you can raise your right arm overhead into the wall behind you. So you feel the stretch all the way through the inside edge of the waist here, from the thigh releasing from the hip and the ribs lifting off the hip in the other direction. Now, Megan, I'm going to have you stay there. If you feel like you're pretty close to getting the knee a little bit more loose there, Mary, bring your left foot on top of your right thigh, and then let both knees fall to the left, so you get a deeper stretch here. Good. Working the breathing here. Nice. Good. Let's take 1 more breath. Good. Now when you come out, you want to be careful to engage your low belly a little bit. Uncross the leg if it's crossed, and then from the abdomen, bring the knees up rather than just wonking from the knee. Very good. And then walk the right knee back to that outer edge, right foot. All right, bring your arm by your side back into that T. Yeah, that one. Good. And then you're going to walk your left foot off to the left 3 to 6 inches to the left. Flex the foot, pushing into the heel, pull in through the belly, and drop the knee in and down, finding that extension there. Good. Deep breath into the stretch. And then if you're okay, raising the left arm by your side, extending the left arm to the wall behind you. Good. Pulling in through the low belly just a little bit more. So the knee might lift a little bit more, Mary, and then you pull in that way. You feel the difference there with this part of the body. Good. And then if your knee is safe here, you can bring the right foot on top of the left thigh and let both knees fall to the right. Good. Nice deep breath here, lengthening through the waist, feeling that stretch through the front of the hip. Good. One more big breath. Good. And again, being mindful of your knees, pull the belly in, uncross the legs if they're crossed, and then from the belly, pull the knees back up, walk the foot back in, release your arms by your side. Go ahead and extend your legs, ladies, for a moment and just feel the release in the hips. Take a couple breaths here, feeling the difference. Good. All right, and when you're ready, you're going to bend your knees and you're going to roll over onto your right side and then gently press yourself up to sit. And start by just extending the legs straight forward. This is our closing pose. This is called butterfly or cobbler's pose here. So you want to sit so that you can release the lower back. Some of you may need to sit on a little bit of a blanket to get your hips higher than your knees. So you're going to bend your knees and bring your feet together. Good. And you don't want to just hug in so that the knees are up in your armpits. You want a place here where you can release the knees as much as you can. Good. And then holding on to the shins, the feet, or the upper shins, depends on your body. You're going to take a nice deep inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to roll the waist back, rolling the waist back. Let the elbows rest on your thighs as you release the body over the legs, finding that stretch. Good. So you want to make sure that you're dropping the chin to the chest, releasing any sense of pulling in the arms. You want this to be really soft so that you feel more of the breath moving into your lower back and sacrum. Slowing down your breathing, releasing those inner groins, and let's take 2 more breaths here. Last deep breath. Good. And then pressing back into your sitting bones, pull the waist back. Inhale, come on up. Good. And then go ahead and bring your hands in prayer at your heart. You'll take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, bow your head in. Great job, you guys. Thanks for joining us today.